Do you have bush or grass? Hey, I got an exciting product for you today. This is the Makita 18-volt grass shear and hedge trimmer blade. Unit is compact, light, lithium-ion battery. If I didn't already say it, 18-volt. I think you're going to love it. If this channel helps you out, I ask that you please like, subscribe, or drop a comment below, good or bad. Let me know how I'm doing. But let's check out the performance of this unit. Thanks. See ya. Okay, so we're going to do a little up-close segment here. Let's take a look. First glance features. What have I noticed? This little guard does allow you to, you see the little arrows here. You push it forward, angle it down. There's a couple of slots you see here. So you can set that angle where you want it, which will adjust this clearance in here on you, depending on the operation that you're doing. Nice and close, or maybe a little bit more of an aggressive cut, huh? Also, let me see. For safety reasons, you press the button here before you're able to fully engage the trigger, right? Now, you got a little guard here to protect yourself. And battery, let's see, I'll slide one in here. If you haven't seen the batteries in this series yet, they do have an indicator. It's interesting that they chose red, but that doesn't bother me all that much. A little white spring here for retention of the battery. There you go, snaps in. Gonna press it. And again, this is for grass. But let's see. I think actually my camera does not have enough frames per second for you to see quite how fast that really was. Now, since this is both grass and hedges, I'm going to do a tool change with you real quick. So, pressing, let me flip it around so you can see. Pressing the white here, slide it back, battery's out. Nice and easy. You have to press this out and down. That releases off of this little retaining clip, right? So these two kind of come together right there, right? So now that I have the bottom exposed, you can see there are little instructions on how do you free this thing. So I have to press, rotate, drop out. Now just to show you how easy it is, blink, simple. Now, I did expose these two holes here because the hedge trimmer actually comes with these little two bolts. Okay, so now I can't actually tell you why they would have put these guys on. You know what it is? As you start threading it in there, they're using these as just little spacers. So yeah, you're not going to be able to pull these off. Again, only one way to do it, so you can't mess. Hey there. Let's look at the installation of the hedge trimmer attachments. So I had to go ahead and take out this crank off of here. Now, it was a case where basically I had to bump it out with my hand like this to free it. So not necessarily intuitive here that this even comes out, the crank. With that said, one of the very first directions they're asking you to do, like sure they ask you to put your blade guard on. This is some basic safety that they're doing. They want you to adjust the 3 pins so that they are lined up on the alignment line. So, taking a look at this guy here, 3 pins. I am able to turn it by hand some. It's not too easy. So, looks pretty much like I got it on the alignment line. Best I can anyway. So this line, right? Apply a small amount of grease to the periphery of the crank. Attach the crank to the pins with its small and large rounds facing down. I would say this by the small and large facing down. We're going to go ahead and put this onto the pins. Now it was flipped the other way for the grass trimmer. Alright, so we got it flipped around. We got this guy here. Pull the blades so that these holes are concentric, because of course the way these work by their very nature is these can move independently. We're going to line them up and then make it kind of concentric with this hole in the frame there. At this point we start assembling. So I'm in, okay? And you'll see, even because I flipped that whole crank upside down, there's a little bit more of a gap here. If you don't remember this step, you're going to struggle. They want me now to tighten down. Wish I had a stubby for a screwdriver this long, but that's okay. Just want to show you guys quickly about the features of this unit. So, bada bing, bada bam. This guy. There we go. Now this snapped into place, but it's not underneath this retaining part. I don't know if that's necessarily a problem. Take a look. And we got it aligned, and if I try moving it right now, you can see it's locked in. So even though intuitively this plate is over top of this button, it doesn't look like this button's holding it down. It looks like there's maybe some retention bit of plastic in there. So got that put together, got my screws tightened down. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's put a battery in and see the movement now. Okay. Button. Yeah, that looks a little more normal, huh? Cool. So, hope looking at these features was helpful for you. You know a little bit more about what you're going to have to do at home yourself. Now, all right, we're coming down the home stretch of this video here. On the left, you're seeing me just go ahead and do a tool change back to the grass shear, just as an FYI for anybody who bought this tool and wants to know how to go back and forth. On the right-hand side is me doing an unboxing. You will not get that battery and charger that I got extra from Makita. Again, that's because I am a tool reviewer, and a little incentive for me that they gave. So thank you, Makita. I appreciate it. So just to summarize quickly, what do I think overall? So this is a solid homeowner tool. I recommend it for grass shearing and trimming hedges, and not for clearing out thick and tall weeded areas or removing thick branches of bushes. Like, meaning don't use it necessarily to transform your bush like Picasso. With that said, if you have the option to go ahead and use a string trimmer, go with the string trimmer over the grass shear. The grass shear, as you can see, I got up on my demo videos, I got up to some stamped concrete that I wanted to stay away from, protect it. But unless you have something like that, it does take quite a bit longer versus a string trimmer. So continuing on, I also do have some rock bed pebble landscaping set up, so the grass shear will help me clean up that grass around it without sending pebbles flying into windows. My hedges are relatively small with thin branches, and you'll see you saw in the video that it eats through them just fine. So for my 1/3 of an acre yard, this tool does the job very easily on one charge. I got over 2 hours of performance on a 4 amp hour battery. The charging time took about 40 minutes for me on that 4 amp hour battery. I do think that tool change is a bit confusing at first and kind of clumsy. I recommend that you use gloves as the hub or crank is quite greasy. You need to flip the hub for a successful tool change out, as I've shown. I think that I wish Makita would have provided a carrying bag so that I would have had a place to place down the cutting element that I remove, and I wish that they had provided maybe some extra grease, as the directions tell you that you need to ensure that that crank is adequately greased. I do like that the grass shear has the adjustable cutting height with the 3 positions. I do find, again, with lithium-ion batteries that they're more stable. You can get hundreds of charges reliably on them, and they have a higher charge density. The brushless motors, you guys know my opinion on that. They're more efficient, they produce less heat, and they require less maintenance. At 4.1 pounds, you're not going to get too tired of carrying this tool around, and with a 3-year limited warranty, you are protected. So, do I recommend the tool? Sure. I think that if you use it as a hedge trimmer, the fact that it's shorter and lighter is actually going to help you perform your job a little bit more accurately. But I think the grass shear is a little bit tedious, so use it if you have to.